surprise, one more show this week because I had a great conversation with Maura Quint, and while the car is just about to come bring me to the airport as I record this on Thursday afternoon, by the time you're listening to it, I will be in the air. Think about that. Hopefully I have Wi-Fi. Maybe we can chat. I've got all my stuff together. I'm fully prepared, ready to rock, found my passport, and I'm really excited to go to Australia. And I'm excited to take you with me. So I'm sure I'll be posting different places, different ways on different platforms, including this one. But for now, a great conversation with Maura Quint for a Friday show. Maura recently did some magic mushrooms. She ate them with her friend, and she had a pleasant trip. So I wanted to ask her about that and a few other things. We caught up real quick, and I hope you like it. Here it is on Friday. It's Maura Quint of the Americans for Tax Fairness. Follow her on all the social medias. Tell her I said hi, one of my favorite guests and real good friends. Let's do it.
Because then after that, I might have some mundane Australian questions. Okay, here we go. Record. Oh, there she is. Maura Quint, thank you so much for joining me today. And thank you on an off Monday. We're always happy to have you. And thank you for being such a good friend amongst so many others and talking me off the ledge with my stupid nonsense passport hell yesterday.
Absolutely. I always have to talk you off the ledge because people know that you speak to me regularly. So if you were to actually fall off the ledge, I feel like the cops would show up and I'd have to answer questions, and I hate answering questions. So,
well, even if people would reach out and be like, "Did you know he was like struggling?"
Yeah, people would reach out and be like, "Did you push him? It was you, right?"
You'd be like, "Yeah, I knew," and there's nothing I could do. There's nothing anybody could do. Okay, the guy really was upset about that passport.
He was upset about the passport. He was. But you have it. You're good.
I got it. I've since been thinking about, as I further the I got from it, the privilege that it was to have that be the thing that sent me into a spiral and made my body numb from the humiliation and frustration of it all. That means you're doing pretty good.
I suppose, you can retroactively look at it. But the other takeaway is that basically, no matter what level of privilege you're at, you will always find a way to spiral. It's nice. It's nice to know, like, billionaires are spiraling out too.
Yes, exactly. Everybody has their struggle. It's all perspective. And then, some people have a little bit more ridiculous things than others. But nonetheless, I do have to ask you, you've been to Australia. What do I need to know? What do you want to warn me about? What do you want to give me a heads up on? Is there any kind of culture shock that I'm going to be? Does everybody have a bidet? Should I bring American cash? Do I really need to be worried about the wildlife, or are people just messing with me?
You do have to fight a koala when you get there. They don't let you in unless you best the koala. It's the first thing they do.
Well, I could definitely take a koala, smack him right in the face.
You think so, but have you seen those claws, man? That is not as easy as you think.
I will smack him right in the face. Even if it's a female koala, I don't even care.
Wow.
If that's what has to be done.
This is rough. This is brutal. Yeah, no, that's pretty much it. That's the only big takeaway. Mm-hmm. And then drive on the other side of the road. That one too. Don't run into oncoming traffic.
Right. That's going to be a hard thing for me.
Also, you have to kiss a picture of the king every time you enter a room. You actually have to genuflect and then and kiss.
I would think my friends who I'm staying with would have told me about that.
It's just second nature to them. They don't even notice. Well, that's why they don't even. It
explains why they have a picture of him in every room.
Every room. Yeah, absolutely. It's like a Jew with a mezuzah. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Must have been a pain to get all those portraits out with the new king. I didn't even think about the campaign that must.
Oh, and all the changing of the wording too. They had all their "God Save the Queen" stuff. All of that had to go. I mean, it's a big undertaking. The country shut down. I mean, like all the countries did. The British Empire shut down for a moment while they had to restructure. They love that shit though. So exciting.
How bad is it?
Love to queue. Oh, so
people have made fun of me for going to Australia during our summer and their winter. Fair enough.
Yeah, that is stupid. But you're going for the Women's World Cup. So that's what you should be doing.
That's what I'm going to tell people is why I'm there, because I'm so dedicated to our ladies in soccer.
Hell yeah, you really should go. I mean, it's like, also, I'm like mad at myself for even saying the Women's World Cup. I should just say World Cup.
Yeah,
the other one's the Men's World Cup. I know, I got to rechange my thinking.
Terrible. I'll edit it out totally for you.
I haven't seen the Barbie movie yet, so I'm not in full feminist mode, but I think that's going to fix me. I think that's going to fix all my language.
I do want to get your take on that. Will you be sharing that on social media, I'm sure? And where are you most? You're still on Twitter. I'm glad to see that.
I still exist on Twitter, but I'm really not posting on Twitter. It's not even Twitter anymore. It's X.
How dare you?
I know. I'm not.
the picket
I
line.
post on Blue Sky a little bit. I look at TikTok occasionally. I'm not posting much at all because I don't know where to go. I have no home. I understand how a migrant feels now.
Yeah.
That's like the most horrible thing I've ever said.
I cannot believe you just compared yourself to a migrant, but I'm not surprised, you monster.
That's right. I am. See, you've taken me out of posting world, and now it's just all of my worst, most ridiculous, horrible jokes have run amok. I'm going to get canceled on your podcast.
There'll never be any way to measure it. I'm not sure how important it would be, but everybody feels the same. Everybody doesn't know where to post, where to go, where to find your people, your community. You built such a wonderful following over there on Twitter.
I have to talk to people in real life now. It's awful.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, I'm just like going up to people and like quipping, and they just stare at me, and no one pats me on the head. No one is just like, good job, Maura, which I'm like, I don't know what to do with. I just walk away to the next one. Like, how about you, sir? Could you use a joke? It doesn't seem to work.
Wow, you actually walk up to people in the grocery store, gentlemen apparently, and say, sir, could you use a joke? And I bet you, knowing you tailor it around whatever product he has in his hand, whatever line he's in. He's looking at Fiberall cereal or something. You're ready for it.
You got to be current. Yeah. I mean, that's the whole deal. You gotta be responding to what is right in front of you. That's what makes it work.
Do you make small talk in the grocery store? Our friend Pete?
I don't talk to anyone ever.
Don't.
I really try to look directly at my feet at all times, and because I have resting talk to me face. Like people have resting bitch face. I have resting I'm your best friend face. I fully absolutely. People are always they just want to start up conversations with me all the time. So, and I don't know how to change that. I'm not good at keeping a scowl on my face or whatever. Even when I have a scowl on my face, that just tends to invite people to be like, are you okay? It's not stay away. It's oh, she must need help. It's awful. It's the worst. It's terrible.
I know you do that on public transportation or an airplane even. I'm sure you give the worst scowl at that open seat.
I go into a world. I exist like a child in a bed where they pull the covers up over your head. Once I'm not seeing anything around me, then it doesn't exist and can't hurt me. That's how I walk through the world.
Yeah. That is a hilarious thing to bring into adulthood. I could see where it would hold you back, though.
Hold me back from what? What
relationships or connections to humans.
I try to avoid those, Pete. Those are terrible. They brought me nothing but unhappiness.
Speaking of something you didn't avoid and something that you did bring you happiness, I'm billing this talk as Maura on mushrooms because the alliteration, but also because you ate magic mushrooms. You've never done it. You did it with a friend in your home, a couple weeks ago? Yeah, 2 weeks ago. Mm-hmm. Very exciting stuff. Middle-aged women sitting around doing shrooms on a Saturday night. Yep. So your history with drugs, if you don't mind?
I'm such a good girl. Basically, my history on drugs is Nancy Reagan got to me. She fully got to me. She propagandized right into my head. I was okay, drugs will kill me. I get it. I understand. If I go near a drug, I'm basically the way cops are when they're exposed to fentanyl or whatever. It's just oh my God, it was within a 10-foot radius. Take me to the hospital. I'm obviously dying. I was absolutely a crisis actor of drugs. Or at least that's what I thought I needed to be. But
wow, that's hilarious.
Yeah. And I'm slowly later in my life going, oh, all these people I know who are doing drugs in high school are they own things now. They're they're people with full, very wonderful lives. Apparently you don't die instantly. So I have slowly been all right, okay, I will try now. I'm old enough to recognize that Nancy Reagan is not a leader of anything except for blowjobs. And otherwise I'm not going to take her advice beyond that.
Wow. That is really unfair to say. And also apparently a thing. So did you have any, there's so much out there about doing. Why did you choose these mushrooms? Where did you get them? And
this is why I chose it, because a 20-something was, honestly, I was peer pressured into it, reverse peer pressure, because the person's not my peer, but we were chatting. I was chatting with this 20-something. We were walking on the street and, a colleague and a nice guy, and he made some joke or whatever. And I said, well, I'm very old. And I was joking. Because in my head we were kind of peers, but then he turned very, very serious, and he's like, "You're not that old," and that was gutting. It was oh my God. And then he started talking about doing shrooms, and I was like, "Well, I want to do shrooms." He's like, "Oh, yeah, I'll give you some. And he gave me some. And then I had to take it because I felt so like shamed at my, my age and yet lack of experience. So that's where it came from.
Okay, well, I like that story.
A child.
That's an interesting way of backing into it in a way. And, I'm not, I also asked because we got some from a family friend, just like sent us vacuum sealed, haven't touched them. But I'm close to ready. And I want to hear your experience.
Pete, come hang out with me. Let's do shrooms. It was so fun.
Well, yeah, I want to hear your experience, and then maybe, I don't know. I'm afraid.
So
Plus, I don't think I want to do them with you. I think that you would.
Oh, why?
Yeah, I don't think you would be mean to me. Pretty sure.
I would not be mean to you.
I might also be like insecure, and I want you to admire me, and I might like, what if I like, cried like a little baby about something that happened when I was a baby or something.
That's like most of our conversations. Why do you think that there's something that's going to change now? Wasn't that like last night? I'm pretty sure. So like,
wow. Yeah. So maybe the opposite will happen. I'll be like super masculine.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. And then all the chicks will dig me.
What I'm saying, Pete, is in my eyes, you have nowhere to go but up. It's fine.
Oh, well, let's shroom it up. So, okay. Let me, help me understand. What'd you do? You know about dosage? How much did you know?
That's what was nice. So this was like, it was a prepared thing. It was in a chocolate bar. It was like made by a company. Mm-hmm. So it had like on the wrapper, like if what amount to take for what amount of, which I liked. It was very controlled. And so we took, I could tell you how much, but off the top of my head, I don't know. But like it was a small medium amount, the smallest medium amount you could take. But I was super nervous. I had no concept of what to expect. So because I am a ridiculous human being, I took a big red marker and a piece of paper and I wrote out a list of like rules so that I could consult it if I was flipping out while I was tripping.
Was that your idea or was it someone suggest that?
It was my idea. I was just nervous going into it. So I was like, all right, I need something to ground me. I'm going to write down some rules for myself. Like, and the first was like, don't take any more. Like that was something someone had said to me, like, oh, you might want to take more during it, but that's when you're going to get really fucked up. So I'm like, okay. First rule was like, don't take any more. The second was like, sometimes when I'm drinking, I'll want to like go on social media and like write something. And then I'll like wake up and be like, oh shit, what did I say? I was like, oh no, what if I take shrooms and I like go on social media and I start
you should have made a TikTok.
So I was like, okay, number 2, like do no social media. You're not allowed on any of these sites. Like do not go near the internet. Thing 3 was like people. I was like, these are people that I could have a bad conversation with right now. Do not speak with these people. If they reach out to you, don't respond. This is not the time to talk to them. Like they're people
you're so
where
smart.
There's like
wow, you can't
potential emotional disruption there. Like don't talk to these people while you're tripping. And then I put a safe list. I'm like, you can talk to these people if you're freaking out and you need someone to ground you. And I had 2 names on that list, and you were one of the names, Pete, of like, you were on the safe list of like, if I was losing my fucking mind, I could call Pete and you would laugh at me, which is what I would need. I would need someone to just be like, you're fine. Shut up. Like,
oh, that was like, you had me on a couple of lists that you also told me about. One was something for money. And
yeah, sure. Yeah. You're supposed to pay me every day.
And also, if you wanted to hear a man cry, I think you had me on that list.
It was actually a warning list for myself of when I don't want to hear a man cry. It was like, don't answer the thing. Yeah.
Your white noise. Okay, so that's a super smart thing to do. Don't do these things.
Right. And then I even had like, the last one was just like, it will end. Here's where your pajamas are. Here's where you sleep. Like, here's how to go, like, just write it out if you need to. Like, because I did not know how out of my mind I would be too. So I was like, here's how to get changed and go to bed.
So, okay, that's real smart. So that was like, I guess we're still in a conversation about pregame, the things that you did to prepare. Was there anything else that I should know about preparation in terms of diet or drinking or work or, sleep or anything?
I had another friend there and we had just baked some food beforehand and she wasn't feeling well. She was supposed to also do shrooms with us, but she was kind of sick. She was like getting the flu. So she didn't want to take drugs. So she was going to be sober. So she yelled at us that we were not to go around fire. She was like, there would be no fire. And I later found out, so she's like, do not turn on the oven. Do not light any candles. Like, I don't want you playing with matches. And I was like, okay, Mom, that's fair. I later found out that she went to bed while we were tripping. We were having a lovely time. It was all very nice. She told me later, she locked the door from the inside. She's like, you guys were fine, but I was a little nervous. Like, what if you went crazy and decided that I was some sort of intruder and tried to kill me? So I just locked myself in the bedroom.
Oh,
This was not the kind of tripping we were doing. We were like so lucid and fine and everything, but
okay, you say lucid and fine. So talk to me. Like, what are the adjectives? What was the experience? Or do I need to? I'm not doing a good job. Is there any other pregame in terms of asking you questions?
That was it. We like, and then we took it, and then we waited. I was also not feeling well, so I was kind of going in and out of like the bathroom, feeling like completely not related to the drugs, but just related to like, I think I was probably starting to get sick then. So I was just wasn't feeling well and feeling like maybe I was going to throw up or something or BL. So I kept, so not like the best, but I started to feel like I went in the bathroom and I just kind of leaned against the wall because I was trying to decide if I needed to get ill. And the wall started to fall away from me. And the floor started to shift out from under me. And I had this knowledge of like, oh, this bathroom is going to detach from the house and it's going to go on some sort of adventure. Except that I was feeling very sick to my stomach at the time. And I was like, I don't have the space for this. So I just stood up and I said out loud, absolutely fucking not. And the world snapped back into normal world. And I just, continued until I felt my stomach was better. And then I went back out and, and then I let the rainbows and colors come and stuff.
So that's interesting. There is a certain amount of control that you do have over the hallucinations that you're having. If you want out, because I've heard that some people blindfold and play music to get an optimal experience to cut off one sense or something. But if you like, in this case,
it depends, I guess, on how much you take. That's what I looked up afterwards.
Yeah.
Like, because we were taking that sort of lightest middle.
Yeah.
We still had the ability to like in this, I knew I could snap back in when I needed to. To take more than that, I don't like that scares the hell out of me. But people do, where you can't snap back in. You've gone totally into the experience. That I'm way too afraid of. This was like, for me, the perfect experience where I could then relax and be like, all right, I feel all right now. Let's just sort of see what comes. And that was super fun. And then, I was doing it with one of my best friends, and she was just like, she just sat on the couch the entire time. She had a blanket that she would occasionally pull up over her head when she was like, nope, I'm going into this world now. And then, she and I just lost it because like she was just sinking the whole time, like further and further into the couch. And we both watched her, and it looked like she was just getting smaller and smaller. And at one point she just turned and she's like, Maura, is your love seat eating me? And I was like, I think it is, Megan. And she was like, maybe I'm becoming your love seat. Have I always been your love seat? And I just fell off the couch laughing so hard. It was the funniest thing I'd ever heard anyone say. And that was like where I felt my most like I am drugged out of my mind but it was like that. It was just like ridiculous, stupid.
How long after you ate them did it hit, and how long did it last? Did you trip for?
So it took about an hour to kick in, and then it lasted for like 4 or 5 hours. But like we felt it was like a wave. Like you felt it kind of build, felt it peak, and then felt it come down.
Got it.
So like, and it was very pleasant. The like coming down to was like, it was just nice. I was like, oh, it's loosening, it's lessening. There's less rainbows in your hair now. Like, it was like that. It was really nice.
I always forget, and I really need to have several experts on to learn more, to talk about it. But I always forget which drugs elicit which kind of things and feelings, or why people try to trip on this or that, ayahuasca, MDMA, psilocybin in this case, right? But
yeah,
sometimes people talk about the trip unlocking something really important to them in terms of their identity, their ego, their insecurities, in terms of making them better, in terms of getting even, I think I heard somebody talking about getting in touch with their childhood trauma. Some people talk about how it helps them with fear of death and so on. Did you have any kind of like breakthrough that was like permanent in a way, or that taught you something?
That might need to be reliant on being the sort of person who doesn't like actively dive into trying to face all of that trauma all the time in your daily waking life, which I basically do. Like, right. I'm already there. So this was much more a sort of like, oh, look, there's rainbows, than an let's talk about your mother. Like, I'm like, I started my morning with a let's talk about your mother. So
right. I hear you, but that's interesting because you basically, it's almost sounds like it's what you want.
Well, that was another thing. Like, there was a point where I was looking at some water, and I looked and I saw the little girl from The Exorcist, like the demon exorcist face in the water.
Come on.
Right. And I was like, oh, okay, this could go that way. This could go into something really horrific.
Yikes, I don't want that.
And I decided, I shut my eyes and I turned my head a little bit to look at a different section of the water. And I said, nope, I'm going to see Barbie. And I like opened my eyes and I'm like, yeah. And I like forced like children, like just other things. And the other one tried to creep. I'm like, nope, we're not doing that. I'm going to control this. I'm going to have the happy kind. I'm not having the other kind. And it worked. Like, I just focused in on like, nope, we're doing pink sparkles tonight. We are not doing, trauma and horror.
Interesting. So, well, that was your experience. And so in terms of what else, anything else happen, or did you see anything else like that? Or did you have any other experience? Were you mostly kind of chilling, sitting, lying down?
Yeah, I mean, I was trying to convince my friend Megan to go out to the trampoline in my backyard because I thought that would be fantastic. But she did not want to do that.
I don't like that.
No, and that's what she said too. And this was after our other friend had gone to bed, and so she was like, "Mom will yell at us. We can't do that." And I was like, "That's fair. Okay, all right." So no, I mean, like, I found moving to be better. She planted in the couch and was very happy there. I was kind of walking around and moving a bit, but it was very like, if you saw a video of us, you'd just be like, this is stupid. They're so dumb. But that's it. That's all you'd take away. Like, what idiots.
Wow. So I think you already said that you're ready to go try it again.
Yeah, no, I'm all in. Yeah, let's do it.
It would seem that a lot of drugs are this way. They're social, right? You can.
What are you saying? Addictive? Yes. No. Yeah.
No, I mean, I think we overplay it sometimes. Sometimes people, plenty of times people do heroin, maybe more times than not, and don't get addicted to it. And, the real danger seems to be fentanyl, which you mentioned earlier. I mean, obviously, all drugs are dangerous, but I'm saying that you seem to have had a good experience and feel like you would, I think you already said, you would try it again.
Yeah, I totally would. I mean,
but,
sure.
That's what I'm saying. Socially, a lot of drugs are, fun to do. Drinking, obviously, and we can talk about why and when we do them alone. But it seems like a fun thing, obviously, to do with someone that you are really comfortable with.
I would only ever want to do any drugs around somebody that I really liked and was really comfortable with. I never like that. That was always actually one of the main reasons, actually, that I did not try most drugs in my youth was because most of the people who were offering them, like the situations that I was in, wasn't even so much that I didn't want to try it. It was that I was like, it is unwise to do a substance with you. I don't know you like that, and I don't know where I am, and I'm not safe here. Like, if I had been in environments where like people I was really close to and that I felt really comfortable with were offering me things, I would have done them more. But like, no, those weren't the ones who were like, come on, let's do this.
Well, safety aside, the point is it enhances the experience if you're with someone you're really comfortable with, I suppose.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I mean, it did for me. Obviously, I speak for all drug use. Obviously, I am now an expert on the subject and can be trusted to give TED Talks on this.
Well, I'm going to talk to some people who are experts on it for sure, because I'm really interested in giving it a shot. I don't know when or where or how, but
see, if you weren't going to Australia, you could have come and done shrooms with me. Yeah,
well, consolation prize. That was basically what you
I'm almost as good as a country / continent.
You did say to me when you were trying to cheer me up and be positive, you said this really good thing, which was also funny, but you're like, it's not the end of the world if you don't go. And you then listed, start thinking now about some of the other things that you might consider doing. At that point, you did not invite me to do shrooms, or else it would have been easier to lose my passport. You should have said that. But
it didn't occur to me. I was looking for you to generate the joy in your life, Pete. You had to take ownership.
I blame you whenever I don't have any. So it was very thoughtful, though, the way that you talked me through that. And I will use it if anybody ever comes to me in a similar silly crisis.
Well, good. I'm glad. I'm creating.
I always try to pay forward your advice. On the rare times you do come to me for advice, what do I tell you?
What would you tell yourself? Every time.
And you're like, thanks, bye.
It continues to be helpful. I am actually deeply, deeply wise.
Very smart.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
All right. Well, anything else I need to ask you while I've got you? I really obviously wanted to talk about the shroom thing. What do you think about Elon Musk renaming Twitter X? Do we want to talk about that
I mean, the
at
big
all?
question is just like how I mean, like, I generally do not believe that billionaires, and certainly Elon Musk, is thinking through anything. Like, I mean, I think the man is just an impulsive fucking idiot child who has been allowed to tantrum king his way through life. But like, I do wonder right now, this is like one of the first times I've ever been like, is this a play? Like, is there a reason? Like, if he is this like a dead automation situation? Like, if he can change things, he can like then argue some sort of like getting out of contract. Like, I don't know. It feels like, I mean, it just feels so weird and haphazard and strange that I feel like he must think that he's doing something else. He's failing it no matter what he's doing, but he must think he's doing something else.
It's a great guess.
Little puny brain.
Yeah, no, that's a really interesting speculation. And what do you think about the positive benefits of slavery and genocide? And the conversation that we should, maybe be focused a little bit more on than we have in the past. The benefits, the skills that you can learn from enslaving humans or torturing them or starving them in a camp. What do you think about?
I was about to say, obviously I don't feel as though from my personal history I can speak to slavery. I mean, I'm going to have to let former enslaved people and their descendants speak to the joys that came out of that.
Right, the skills.
But what I would like to say is, we talk about the Holocaust a lot, and I think people, they just jump right past that word camp. I mean, you think how much fun camps are. There's all sorts of activities. Nobody ever talks about that. But, camp, not a bad word. So there must have been something else going on there. I think probably we need to explore it a little bit, I
bet you there's a generation of people from a certain part of the world that hate the word camp. I'm not sure how it was translated, but yeah, from our point of view, from growing up, it certainly does sound fun. On Fox News, Greg Gutfeld cited the work of Viktor Frankl. He wrote his seminal book as a result of his experience in a concentration camp, so surviving one. And he said, "What about that?" And I almost threw up.
Yeah, there's a lot of that going on. The culture, well, no, let's not call it a culture war. It's just an all-out fucking intelligence war at this point. Is really, really terrifying and out of control. But I don't know what to do with it other than like kill them all. I'm not sure. Like maybe round them up or something. I don't know how that would work.
Well, that's certainly seemingly their strategy.
From what I've heard, that's not such a bad idea. So what they're telling me is that rounding them all up and putting them somewhere and then maybe getting rid of them in some way has some benefits. That's what I'm hearing. I don't know.
Skills.
I don't know. I got to think through it.
You might have some silver linings coming out of that. So why not give it a shot? And I
just don't know why the doors from CPAC don't get locked from the outside. That's all I'm asking. That's it.
That's very good. Well, because then they would just sit in there and incubate more insanity. And, you got to make sure if you're going to lock them in, make sure there's no internet connection. Because
easy to do. Yeah. Easy enough to do.
I think we got to remember that because whatever that group develops.
Although, look, you know what? Honestly, could they do? I actually think all of them stuck together for a while.
Yeah.
I kind of actually think that we'd be benefiting to see what comes out of that because they'll start eating their own, both metaphorically and actually. So
that's a really interesting psychological or social experiment to see if a whole bunch of me first capitalists can figure out how to share a meal.
Yeah, exactly.
Or a toilet.
I mean, we win either way because either we walk out of it with, there being less of them or we get to be like, haha, you liked socialism.
Oh, this is fun. This is very fun, this talk, and I appreciate it. Lighthearted banter about the worst things.
Yes, just joking around. Just
in the world.
Just jokes.
I look forward to hearing about your next experience. I will talk to you when I get back from Down Under.
Fantastic. I can't wait to hear all about it.
Do they like it when Americans do their accent to them? Are they like, oh, this is fun?
I think they adore it. I think that basically if you don't start with a Crocodile Dundee quote, they're like, what are you even doing here?
Oh, good, because I plan to do a lot of like those. That's
not a this. This is a this.
Right?
Yeah, you're just in constantly all the time.
But not with a knife?
No, every other thing.
Right.
That you can pause that. Yeah, that's not a suitcase. This is a suitcase. Just start from when you get to the airport. Never let up. Never. Yeah.
I think I'll be like, that's not a plug. This is a plug. I don't know what accent that
what
was.
accent was that? That was like a weird
I think
Cockney
it was.
situation. Yeah, it's like you stowed a board.
Crikey, it's not a plug. Nope, still don't have it. Can't do it. I can't embarrass myself too badly because I just can't do that accent anymore. I used to have it, but
it's
I'll
really
pick it back
hard
up.
for me. I tried the other day, and I was like, the person I said it to was like, kind of sounds Boston, but like, okay, good for you. Yeah. Like, oh, okay. I thought I had it. I thought I was doing great, but
I may need to consult you more on the way. And I was told, do not drink alcohol on that big long trip on the airplane. Bad idea.
I never drink alcohol on planes. It's always a bad idea to me.
Yeah,
but
I think so. It's a pretty stupid idea, especially on a long
just
flight.
do shrooms. No big deal.
Well, I never want to be, intoxicated because I always have to consider I may have to save the plane.
Oh, how are you going to do that?
With my skills for the fighting and heroics.
Oh, it's like a terrorism situation.
Yeah,
not like the pilot has like had a heart attack. You don't have to.
Or maybe the pilot, and then they're like, we need somebody to land the plane. Because what I learned about myself yesterday when I lost my passport is like, I'm super chill in like a panic situation. Like if something really goes wrong, I'm the guy everybody's going to want to fall in behind.
I cannot wait to get a phone call from the plane. Just being like, Maura, what do I do? There's a terrorist.
You're going to be such a dick. You're going to be like, Pete, it's got to be you.
I mean, sacrifice yourself. Open the door now and jump right on out.
You're going to be like, stand up, and in your best Australian accent, say something that makes no sense whatsoever. And once he's confused,
that's when you ask him about his mom.
What brought you here? Let's be honest.
Let's talk through it. I mean, we don't have a lot of time left. Like, let's hear what's going on in your head right now. How you feeling?
By the way, my friend told me to watch the new Apple, which I'm already watching. Hijack is a show with Idris Elba. Anyhow, it's just about a hijacking, like 6 episode series about hijacking. He's like, you should watch that on the plane. I'm like, I don't know. I should. Doesn't seem like the best idea. What else should I watch?
I feel like you'd be a little too inspired. You'd just be like, where else could this plane go?
Oh, seriously.
Yeah.
I'm totally inspired by, like, I'm going to watch Hijack on the plane, and somebody's going to do something completely innocuous, and I'm going to take them down.
I think this would be really entertaining for the rest of us. So,
ma'am, can I have another package of pretzels? You cannot! Save this plane. What?
I love the image that you have of yourself in your head. Someday, like with a little kid, I want you to like draw a picture of yourself, We're just going to like get you a little bit like sleepy and stuff and be like, here's a piece of paper. Hey, Pete, show me what you think you look like.
Wait, this looks like a baby in the fetal position.
With lots of hair. What's going on? That's you, huh? Okay.
This is a large baby curled up, hugging a pillow because he can't sleep without something behind his knees. Is that what's going on? Super rugged. All right. Thank you, my friend.
Thank you. Have fun.
Oh, I will. And we just did. I hope you enjoyed my conversation with Maura. If you did, go let her know that you heard her here. It means a lot to her that she takes the time and we sit down and talk. Love always my conversations with her, and I hope that you did too. Happy Friday. Have a great weekend. I am on my way to Australia, I hope, and I look forward to hearing from you. Thanks for all your support and kind messages. So many folks wishing me well on this trip, and so grateful for it. If you haven't signed up to be a part of our community, pay a $5 subscription. You get access to all of the amazing people on Discord, at our Hangouts, and in so many other ways. Go to patreon.com/Pete Dominic. You can always edit your pledge up. Thank you very much. John Carroll singing us out, as always.
You got to open up the window to let in some light. You got to stand up. That's right. We got to rise up. You got to stand up. You got to stare the devil straight in the eye. We got to let him know it's his turn to go. See it clear when all you hear is a lie. Don't get up off of your butt, get down off of your fence. Even if it ain't a very friendly audience, well, they'll begin to listen when you start making sense. And you stand up, stand up. No need to point your rifle to defend your town. Just stand up, stand up. You know they can't deny you what you're laying down. Boy, you better stand up, stand up. Show your face of every color, yellow, black, red, and brown. 'Tis stand our ground, and then stand up, stand up. Well, the founding fathers saw a land for all. They had to stand up, they had to stand up. They had a keen imagination for a crystal ball, drawing all the plans of a stand up. But all they had to go on was the time they were in, with other causes for laws, and since they weren't even sin, they knew that change was gonna come before the change could begin. They had to stand up. All right, they had to stand up. We got to stand up. We got to look the devil square in the eye. We got to let him know it's his time to go, and make it clear when all we hear is a lie. Why you lying awake wondering where the money all went? It'll be the cost of freedom that'll go unspent. You can see him flee the scene of that experiment if you stand up. All right, we got to speak up, we got to reach up and raise your voice in every way you know how. Don't be toes up, you got to show up. Ain't no better time to do it than now. No need to pledge allegiance to no wanton tribe. Rise up, show obedience to the voice inside, and listen well and it'll tell you not to run and hide. It says stand up.